What's up? We are live here. I Asked No One, episode number 30. I'm just gonna hit send on this post right now, so we could have some others join us. I hit share. I'm hearing the wooing outside, and just received a one of those kind of Amber Alerts or whatever on Instagram there that we have a new president. And I think, judging by the wooing out there, it's Joe Biden. So, awesome. Cool stuff. Welcome. I Asked No One. Cheers. We lost someone very close to my heart and a big influence on the way I speak, the way I walk, just what I like to see in movies is Sean Connery, Sir Sean Connery, 007. My favorite 007. Cheers to you. When I was really impressionable as a teenager in 2003, I got into Metallica. I started to watch Arnold movies, two things that I still very much love. And I started to watch James Bond movies. Thunderball during the 007 Days of Christmas on AMC. Thunderball came on 1965, and I was supposed to get ready and dress for Christmas Eve and get prepared to go to Mastodon and go to our parties, our family parties. I was sucked into that movie. I've always been a Matrix fan, action, adventure, sci-fi, but there was something about this movie that took me on this ride with James Bond. And Thunderball since then has been my all-time favorite James Bond movie, top 10 favorite movie all time. Sean Connery is number one. Number two, I gotta say, is Daniel Craig, in my opinion. I think he's done a wonderful job. And number three, Pierce Brosnan with Goldeneye. So Sean Connery, man, I get the chills. All these years watching these movies, and there'd be times in California where I just wanted to just detach my head from wherever bad place, dark place I was at, and I would just flick on Sean Connery, 007 at like 12 o'clock, midnight, and order a pizza and just enjoy that pizza to some From Russia with Love, Dr. No, Goldfinger, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, Diamonds Are Forever, what's the other one that was, what was that remake in the 80s? Never Say Never, I think it was. Yeah. What's up, Rye? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Skyfall is absolutely brilliant. And I remember after Daniel Craig appeared as Bond for the first time in Casino Royale, top 5 favorite Bond movie right there. Sean Connery is asked what he thought about Daniel Craig. And one of the things that Sean Connery mentioned about Daniel Craig was he really liked the energy and where he took the character. It was very fast paced, it was very action packed, but he liked the energy of Daniel Craig. And I would totally agree with that. Cool. So RIP Sean Connery. I always wondered how I would feel when I got the news that he passed away. And when I got the news, my friend Zach Schifferly shared it with me. And I wasn't incredibly sad or anything, but I was really it's kind of like quiet moment, like, oh, damn, because he was old and I heard about his health problems. He was 90 years old. He was in a month senior of my Nani Hilda Ray. They were really close in age, and I always used to talk about Connery's Bond films with my Papa Joe Ray, and just again the way he would walk in a room and just he has been quoted as that Bond, that character being similar to how he is in real life, and I never knew that he was living in Nassau, Bahamas, because Thunderball, my favorite Bond movie, that was taking place in Bahamas. He's been quoted as that being his most enjoyable time being Bond was in 1965 Thunderball. So RIP Sean Connery, right? Got a cool ass announcement here. I'm just looking at the comments. Oh, cool. Yeah, Diamonds Are Forever, Spy Who Loved Me. All right. Well, hey, Ashley, you gonna come by and say what's up? No? All right. Maybe another 15 minutes or so. Cool announcement here. I haven't secured him 100% for a time this month, but he has agreed to appear on I Ask No One, and that is the lead singer of a band called Lamb of God. His name is D. Randall Blythe, Randy Blythe. He's very well connected to a lot of my favorite heroes. This I Ask No One podcast was born out of the quarantining and just something I wanted to just get out, concerts and souvenirs and stories. And maybe I'll get in some interviews. But for me to message him and him just to come back with sure, exclamation point, off we go, man. It's awesome. I can't wait to do that. And we're on episode number 30. Episode 32 is coming up. I was born on March 2nd. Favorite number all time, 32. And I think what better way? Maybe. We'll see. I'll let you know. Episode 32 have myself, my twin brother Ryan in Greece, and one of our heroes, one of our biggest heroes, Randy Blythe, right on there on I Ask No One exclusive chat with him. So keep you updated about that. Today is November the 7th. So today, November 7th in music history, all right? There's a guy named Steve Anderson. Steve Anderson, in 1974, he strummed a guitar. He set the world record for strumming a guitar, like playing a guitar, for 114 hours and 17 minutes straight. That's 4.75 days straight of playing the guitar. So that was Steve Anderson. I don't know if he's still alive. I'm going to try and contact him, actually, now that I think about it. I'll see if maybe I could get him on I Ask No One next week or this week sometime. But 114 hours and 17 minutes of playing the guitar straight. Pretty cool. Anything close to what I've done in that respect was just real quick. I have an inside joke with imitating old people with some of my closest friends. Ha! Ha! And John Harbaugh. It was the Ravens versus the 49ers a few years back in the Super Bowl, and I had a bet that I could keep my mouth open for, I think, the entire game. I lasted 3 quarters. Just ah. That one's for you, Steve Wood and Ryan and Schiff and my other fucks. Today, November the 7th, 1991, Izzy quit Guns N' Roses. So Izzy Stradlin was the rhythm guitarist in Guns N' Roses through the Appetite for Destruction, Heyday, one of the greatest rock debut records of all time. Izzy, many people don't know, Axl Rose actually is from Indiana, went to the same high school as Izzy Stradlin. So they were really close, and they had this dream moving out to California. Of course, they formed one of the biggest bands of all time, stadium conquering acts, Guns N' Roses. And Izzy quit in 1991. Why exactly? I think he had other ideas in mind creatively. I think touring got to him. In 2016, Duff, Slash, and Axl, they reunited in this Not in This Lifetime tour. Never thought that would happen. So for the first time since 94, it was Duff, Slash, and Axl. Now in 2016, almost got into that show at the Troubadour West Hollywood. Would later see that in Las Vegas. But Izzy, they couldn't arrive at a price that Izzy could come and join and make that a really true reunion of the Guns N' Roses, get Steven Adler in there. But I digress. Izzy Stradlin. He was always just the chill dude, and fuck yeah, Izzy. Johnny Rivers. Do you know the song "Secret Agent Man" that was in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective 2? One of the all-time favorite, funniest movies for me. But Secret Agent Man. I saw Johnny Rivers is turning 78 years old today, and I thought it'd be pretty appropriate to bring up that Secret Agent Man song writer who is turning 78 today, along with my all-time favorite Secret Agent Man, and that is Sean Connery. number 2, Ace Ventura. Tommy Thayer is turning 60. He is the guitarist of Kiss. He joined Kiss in 2002. He replaced Ace Frehley, the original Kiss guitarist, in 2002. One of the last concerts I saw before quarantining was Kiss. It was with R.I.P. Michael Holden's father, John, and Dan Stahl. And we saw Kiss at the arena in February, just before the pandemic hit. In fact, that was the second last show that I saw. The last show I saw before quarantine was Till Lindemann, the lead singer of Rammstein. He played a solo set in Helsinki, Finland. I was there with my twin brother Ryan, and at 6'1", we were short there. Guys and girls were taller than us. At 6'1", we were short in that arena. It's something Ryan recognized, which is pretty crazy. Sean Connery, he was 6'2", up until his final days, 6'2". So, happy birthday, Tommy Thayer. I've seen, Kiss. Let's see, saw him in Buffalo, saw him in Darien Lake. There's a limo to and from the show. That was just a party. I'm looking at some of these comments here. Yeah. Got some fellow James Bond fans here. So, the quote of the day. I was driving around some showings around middle of nowhere. I'm in zip codes all over the place here in Western New York. And the other day, you see funky signs on lawns, especially during the election time, just different sayings and things, and out front of different restaurants in Middle America, New York State. And one of the things that I saw was, I just thought it was funny. It said, "Don't follow the masses. Sometimes the M is silent." Don't follow the masses. Sometimes the M is silent. I thought that was kind of goofy, and I asked no one. Today we are talking about. So it's November. This is the first episode of November. When I think of November concerts, not many come to mind. Summertime, yeah, September, October, but November and December. Well, December. I'll see you next month for that. But November, I think of Mastodon. I think of the November of 2011. So this month, today, and next week, I'm going to be talking about the 2 shows that I think of when I think of November, fall time gigs. Mastodon. I've been on their music video for High Road. Mastodon, the Dillinger Escape Plan, and Red Fang. I've seen Mastodon, I'm not going to look, but I think I've seen Mastodon around the world about 18 times or so, right? This is my favorite Mastodon show, and it was on this tour. Even though I got this at a different show on this tour at the Sony Performing Arts Center in Toronto with Ryan, when they played with Ghost and Opeth. Imagine that, Ghost, Opeth, Mastodon. Wow. So Mastodon, this is the Hunter record, my favorite Mastodon record, the Hunter, next to Jonah Hex EP. And this was just so small and intimate at the town ballroom. They got this trapezoidal kind of rail, and the stage so close, I get the chills. And the amount of times that I've been in the town ballroom here in Buffalo for acts, the loudest concert I ever saw was Black Label Society there in 2012. And Matt McCarthy was with us at that show too. So it's me, Ryan, and Matt McCarthy, bro. Touchdown Matt. He's getting married in May to sweet Nadia. I'm looking back at pictures, and I'll post some. I got hair down to my shoulders. 2011, I traveled over 12,000 miles from Metallica that year. I was working my first year at Geico Insurance, utilizing my vacation time, and just getting after it. I was living at home, getting rich. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Forever blessed. Thank you. Don't forget it. I owe you a few steak dinners. But that show, best Mastodon show I've ever been to. Very small, very intimate. We got to the show a little bit early, as we do all the time, and we just camped out. We camped out, I don't know, maybe it was like 12 or 1 p.m., doors at 5 or 6, whatever. And we get in. I've never seen Red Fang before. Red Fang. They're a band out of Portland, Oregon, Leonard. Portland, Oregon. And just got that Mastodon, growly, distorted guitar, muddy, ugly, fun. music. And I think this was one of their first tours. So Mastodon brought them out and introduced me and us to Red Fang. I got some souvenirs from the show. Would you like to see them? By the way, thank you very much for joining. I'm just looking at Dr. No, Luke. That's Dr. No. I watched that in the summertime and the wintertime. Dr. No, I got to have an episode on James Bond one of these days. But, okay, this one I'll get to. But I got okay, so here is the ticket from the show. Of course, I keep the ticket and the bracelet. Badass. Old-ass-tickets.com. I don't even think there's such a thing anymore. Tickets.com. Okay, I got a guitar pick, a Red Fang guitar pick, and this is the logo on their debut record, Prehistoric Dog. I forget what the name of the record is, but here you go. Red Fang, man. Yeah, the song Prehistoric Dog is heavy as shit. I really like that one. They came out with another record called Whales and Leeches when I was in California, and when I hear Whales and Leeches record, that totally brings me back to 2014 and not giving a shit. Red Fang was really fun. The lead singer had long hair. They like to incorporate Pabst Blue Ribbon PBRs in their music videos. So to this day, when I have Pabst Blue Ribbon, I think of Red Fang, or, we used to party a lot on PBRs there. Me, Michelle, Megan, Nathan, Jordan, Jared. We had our own little nook right there at the ocean that we used to hang out a lot. And there was a liquor store called Crest Liquor. And we walked down there, and we'd always get cases of PBR, always in our fridges. And the Red Fang would be blasting, the Guns N' Roses, the Nirvana, we'd be karaokeing and stuff like that. So many good times. I look forward to return to San Diego, California. It's my second favorite American town. First favorite, Buffalo, New York. You know it. So, PBRs in their music videos, Red Fang. It's really funny. Like, they'll have zombie apocalypse, and they got to make sure the PBRs don't get left behind. Red Fang, check them out. I'll post you one of my favorite songs. I like Failure off the Whales and Leeches record. There you go. Dillinger Escape Plan. All right, so this is a drumstick from Dillinger Escape Plan. This one's quite beaten up, of course, used. The name here, Billy Reimer. Okay, Billy Reimer. Dillinger Escape Plan, heard of them. Never seen them before. When I saw them open for Mastodon, the Town Ballroom, 2011, November, I have been uncomfortable on rails before, being up front with the fire that's coming from Rammstein. Like, Rammstein's set, it looks like a goddamn grill. It's a grill, man. These Rammstein, they're all professional pyrotechnicians, and they're breathing fire, and shit's getting blown up, and they're lighting each other on fire or whatever. Dillinger Escape Plan, they don't do any of that. There's no pyrotechnics there, but that lead singer, Greg Puciato, came out. He looked like he may have been on steroids. He was just real stocked, shorter guy. A little short. He had a Enjoy Coke shirt, a red baby Enjoy Coke shirt, I remember. And his biceps were out, And it was so punk rock of him to do this, but he would go like right at me, Ryan, and Matt, like he'd be singing like, right over us, just sit, and he'd be like pushing my head in, all that. He was getting physical with me, with us. Ric Flair once, front row at a WWE event, Ric Flair once pulled my arm. That was pretty funny. Goldberg, I got some fist bumps from him back in the day. But Greg Puciato, if someone's going to introduce themselves to me on stage, like, I do like to get there. Actually, you have to be there early enough to see the openers if you want to be up front. But I like to see, openers, how they react to having their sound turned down a little bit, their lights being turned down a bit. Fans are like, all right, who are these guys? Dillinger Escape Plan, they have an established history. Mastodon are friends with them, including the guitarist. They went off and formed Giraffe Tongue Orchestra, which is a cool record, cool side project. Dillinger Escape Plan are no more. Greg Puciato, that physical-ass little energy ball of a guy, he has his own band. He's done some different projects. He's jammed with Jerry Cantrell. I'm going to post that link down below. Solo Jerry Cantrell concert that was posted recently with Greg Cruciato singing. But Greg Cruciato, man, he just released his debut solo record called Child Soldier, Creator of God. Deep Set, there's a song off that dedicated to Chris Cornell, R.I.P. Chris Cornell. But that record, I have limited edition vinyl. It's going to be coming in soon. I got the digital download. Greg Cruciato is really badass. But that band, even for an opener, their light show was huge. It just, the guys are jumping all over on stage. And I feel like, especially when I play drums, it's, you can play your beats, but I think showmanship and really bringing it to the audience, really bringing it and having that action-packed set, I think is huge. And I don't think I've seen a band jump around more than Dillinger Escape Plan in my life. Just completely going left, right. I don't know where to look. Yeah, Cruciato hitting us in the face and shit. It was awesome. And then on came one of my all-time favorite bands, probably top 5 band. They got to be at least 6. Right there, Gojira, Opeth, Mastodon. Mastodon probably 6, maybe 6 or 5. Mastodon, been in their music video for High Road. Crack the Sky came out in 2009. The Hunter came out in 2011. 2011, man. The Hunter, first song is called Black Tongue. Black Tongue is one of the few Mastodon songs I know every lyric to. But Black Tongue, as soon as I heard that, when that record came out, I heard Troy Sanders. The band has, everyone sings. The drummer, Brann, my boy, guitarist Bill, the other guitarist Brent, and the bassist Troy. They all sing. I mean, all 4 members are singing when they perform live. And the first thing you hear, and then I burned out my eyes. Troy Sanders were in the forefront with the vocals. It was just amazing. My brother and I, we love Hunter so much, Mastodon Hunter, right? That Christmas, I bought Ryan this. Ryan is in Athens, Greece. Right? Miss ya. And this is a nice beer drinking mug. So, right, I'm guarding this with my life. You know what else I'm guarding? This mug over here. This Stein. Check this Stein out. So it's got the Hunter logo on it. Really, really sweet. Drank out of this a few times, Rye, but this is yours whenever you're ready, huh? Pretty sweet. Taking a look at some comments here. All right. Thank you for joining. Thank you. So badass. Mastodon are one of the first bands to create their own beer. And this is, Iron Maiden's huge with their beer, the Trooper. Deftones, they've done their Swerve City IPA. They did something with Belching Beaver out of San Diego. But Mastodon, this is my very first one that I had. Mahr's Brau. Had this in Athens, Georgia on my way out to San Diego with Christian Lavender. It's a German kind of Marzen beer, but cool look, right? I love the deer or whatever that is. Really trippy, and just the album, Mastodon going from prog rock, songs that go into 10 minutes long and they're taking you all over the place. And then here comes the Hunter, where they just simplified it down. They stripped it down. Verse, chorus, solo. Get in, get out. And at that show, man, fucking, they open up with Dry Bone Valley, which is one of my all-time favorite Mastodon songs. To this day, when I hear that opening horn in Dry Bone Valley, my heart starts to beat because I'm just thinking about, like, holy shit. I mean, that was so cool for Brann to walk out and then Dry Bone Valley. And that song to me is the lyrics is just it's stampede of lions and shit. It just reminds me of Lion King, it's stampede and the snakes move past your feet and I don't know if I'm alive or dead, and just the imagery, the lyricism of that band. Brann Dailor, drummer of Mastodon. We'll get to him in a sec, but man, that show, small, intimate, hometown show. What's up, Buffalo? There's the set list that I had saved here. I'm just going to take a look again what we got that night. Yeah, Dry Bone Valley opening, Black Tongue. Man, they played a bunch of shit. But a lot of songs off The Hunter. I Am Ahab, Capillary and Crest off the earlier records. Ghost of Karelia. So check this out. This is one of my most memorable. I mean, I show you picks every week, just about guitar picks. This one is the exact pick that Troy Sanders, he looked like this when he used to wear, when he wears his beanbag skull caps. This is the pick that he played Ghost of Karelia on. Ghost of Karelia off Crack the Sky. He used this pick. Pretty badass, huh? I love it because it's got a picture of him, and he's very much gray now. He's no longer brown, and he's kissed my head before, right outside the whiskey. He's another guy I'd love to have on, or will have on. And, 18 times is a lot of time to see Mastodon around the world, and you get to know each other, you get to hang out backstage, and you end up getting the drummer hot dogs, Zweigels, and Brann from Mastodon and Bill, they're from Rochester. They're upstate New Yorkers too. So that's the cool thing about Instagram. Even though Brann no longer has Instagram, you can stay in contact, with your heroes. Don't be a creep, but the occasional message or comment on a picture, they'll get to see you. So that set, man, that was just so dope. And the other thing that jumps out about that set was the encore song. So they finished with Blood and Thunder. Blood and Thunder is a really good one off Leviathan. Blood and Thunder, crack your backs and drive your horse, Mary. But they finished with Creature Lives off the Hunter record. And that was they brought out the Red Fang guys. They brought out the Dillinger Escape Plan guys, and they're all, really anthemic. Creature Lives, kind of really good outro song. I've seen Mastodon, in Australia and Germany and so many times since then. There's just something about that show that was just like, including that Creature Lives ending, it was just celebratory. It was just really, I don't know, really fun. It was the most fun I've had at a Mastodon show. Art Park was killer. Brann singling me and Ryan out. Hey, there's twins here. Hey, twins. Which is funny. But all the heavy lifting, even when I'm running and I'm on mile number 5 of 6, or I'm just gassed out, I got my sports-induced asthma starting to kick in. I think of all the heavy lifting. We didn't come this far just to turn around. We didn't come this far just to run away. I dedicate that quote to you, Ray. And that's one of my most meaningful songs right there. So all the heavy lifting, and we would go on to see Stargasm and Thickening in Toronto. Great show. Again, Town Ballroom, hometown small show. What's up, Buffalo? And I love, repping Buffalo right there in the cockpit of the fans, right there in the front center, showing them that shit. What a great time that was. So I'm going to take a look at some of these comments. My dad says I should have Britney Spears on the show. It was funny. Britney Spears was brought up in a conversation that I had with Michael Atlas Lane. I interviewed Mike on Halloween. Check it out. It's the fastest video I've had to 200 views. Shoot a like. We had a fun-ass 50-minute conversation. Mike is a drummer vocalist of Detriments, a San Pedro, California, LA death metal band. Anyway, I was talking to him last night, and we got talking about Britney Spears. And he said that, so Mike Lane, he was in Britney Spears' music video. He used to dance in the occasional Britney Spears music video. And he got connected to Britney Spears through Kerry King's wife. Kerry King is the lead guitarist of, rest in peace, Slayer guitarist, Kerry King. And so Kerry's wife drew a liking of Mike Lane's jean company. Mike Lane's jean company, Mike Lane's Jeans, was going to just go off. He had a potential investor of the fellow who created The Bachelor Bachelorette. So much so they were having dinners together, talking about business plans in Malibu, and getting, Mike had which is nothing in LA. He had a $1.4 million home, doing really well. And the gene thing it fell through. But in the beginning there, he got connected to Britney Spears music videos through Carrie King's wife. Carrie King's wife really liked Mike Lane's jeans. So there you go. There's my connection with Britney Spears. First CD I ever bought, Britney Spears, Hit Me Baby One More Time. I think it'd be pretty damn cool to have her on I Asked No One. I'm just looking through my pockets here, and I got this beer cap, and it says Blend with Friend. Cool. I don't know, that looks like a magic hat or something. But going back to Mastodon, awesome show. The drummer Brann Dailor, I've had fans at the show come up to me and think that I'm the drummer of Mastodon, Brann Dailor. Yeah, that is a magic hat, Luke. Yeah, magic hat. Dude, these blend with a friend. Thank you, friends, for joining. But Brann, fans think that I'm him, and I think that's pretty cool just to see their face for a sec, to think that I'm a famous person. And it happens sometimes. Me and Ryan do look like Brann. But Brann, he was on Instagram last night live with the drummer of Primus, Irby Alexander. I think his first name was Tim or Tom or George. But they were just shooting the shit. Brann Dailor, no longer on Instagram. He really would bring you into his house, like in his life and his mind. But I saw they were live, and they were just talking to friends, and that was like the way I would talk to you right now on this show, or my guests. So they're Mastodon always been a big beer band. They like creating their own beers. They have their own pint glasses, and Brann was pouring a beer out of Nashville. I forget what it was called. I'm a craft beer lover, love a good beer. My dad hosts a wine television show. I'm a beer guy. I like wine, respect for wine, but a little more of a beer guy. Even though it's arguable, I'm more of a seltzer guy these days. I will admit it. I've been drinking some Vizzies and Trulies and White Claws. Thank you very much. We got some strawberry kiwis in the fridge for later. But yeah, he was sipping on some good beers. I also watched Steve-O. Steve-O from Jackass? So Steve-O has his own podcast. One of my biggest inspirations for this podcast is Steve-O's Wild Ride. Of course, Joe Rogan at the very top, and the way he could get deep with, James Maynard Keenan from Tool, or James Hetfield of Metallica, or Elon Musk, who I've met. And Steve-O's Wild Ride, I just watched him with Jonathan Davis of Korn. Steve-O from Jackass and Jonathan Davis of Korn shooting the shit. And I'm like, that's me. That's what I do. And if Steve-O could do that, and he'll be the first one to say, if he could do it, if he could get sober, I'm not going to get sober, I'm good. But if he could do anything, you can. So check out Steve-O's Wild Ride. I will post that link to the Jonathan Davis interview. It was just a cool, funny-ass conversation, right? And Jonathan Davis of Korn, I love Korn. I've talked about Korn last month. Check out the episode. Their album release party is Serenity of Suffering, invite only, Sirius XM, sweet. Got their drummer. Jonathan Davis is one of the few heroes of mine that I've not met in person, just as far as a mental health point of view and what he's done for me and for his fans and shit. I've never seen a crowd jump up and down in my life in a video like when Korn performed at Woodstock 99. I interviewed my cousin Brian Lavello, Cornerstone Orchards, earlier on. He was at Woodstock 99. But that crowd, man, when Blind kicked in, the "Are you right?" And that, I'm going to post that link again. I've posted before in different videos, but Jonathan Davis was asked about Woodstock 99, just like I asked Fred Durst about Woodstock 99 when I met him. And Jonathan Davis, he said just how crazy that was and how the crowd was so huge. It was before the big, the riots and everything that happened during Red Hot Chili Peppers and Limp Bizkit the following day. But Korn was playing, and it was Korn, Limp Bizkit, and Ice Cube on the same exact plane, flying from California out to Rome, New York for Woodstock 99. Party, rage, and then take it back. And they had this big jet airliner. They had craps going on in the middle of the airplane. And he said, Jonathan Davis, he was 1 year sober. He got sober on the Follow the Leader record. So he wasn't hanging around, the craziness too much. So he had his own area on the plane, and then there's Limp Bizkit had their own area. They had a lounge area, but right in the middle, they had a whole bunch of just craziness happening. I mean, can you imagine the late 90s? MTV, debauchery times 10. Hannah, miss you too. So it was cool to see him rewind back to Woodstock 99. I also took delivery of a book today. My name is in this. Do you know the band Rainbow? Luke, I know you know the band Rainbow. Rainbow is a band from the 70s. Well, they're still in act today. Ronnie James Dio, he, lead singer of the 1970s Rainbow. This highlights the 1975 to 1976. And I feel like I want to rush through this because we're at minute number 35. I'm not going to rush through this real quick because Rainbow's awesome, right? Rainbow is sick. Rainbow, you know the song Smoke on the Water, Deep Purple? Ritchie Blackmore wrote that riff, arguably the most recognizable rock riff of all time, Smoke on the Water. Ritchie Blackmore was in Deep Purple. He has a mysticism, kind of not many people know too much about him, kind of like Jimmy Page, Back in the 70s, I'm sure people thought Jimmy Page lived in a castle somewhere. And it was the same, no different than with Ritchie Blackmore. And I'm just starting to read this book, In the Shadow of the Wizard, hard copy, limited to 1,000 copies. My name, here's what the Rainbow set looked like when you'd see him live, I was first introduced to Rainbow. Metallica had a Rainbow cover medley after Ronnie James Dio passed away, R.I.P., arguably the creator of this right here, Ronnie James Dio, former Dio singer, Black Sabbath singer. Metallica covered some Rainbow songs. They jammed into a medley like they did in A Merciful Fate in 98. So this was back in, I want to say 2015 or 14. That medley that they played, these were songs I had no idea about. Did not know Kill the King or Stargazer, Lady in the Light, just a few others that they jammed in there. Rainbow Rising, just so lively and fun and cool. And I felt like I was listening to Merciful Fate medley again, because the Merciful Fate medley, of course, has that band Merciful Fate. Back as a teenager, I discovered Merciful Fate, been a diehard Merciful Fate King Diamond fan ever since. So I felt like it was happening all over again with Rainbow. Ritchie Blackmore, creator of the Smoke on the Water riff Deep Purple, leaves Deep Purple, forms his own band, Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow. And just really cool stuff. You're not going to be able to see my name here, but I'm going to show you the page that it's on, which was quite a surprise because I didn't know that was going to happen. And all of a sudden my name's there. So it says, here's the Roll of Honor. This is from Great Britain, so honor with O-U-R. And it says, Weimar Publishing duly acknowledges the following people who all put their faith in this publication by pre-ordering it. And yeah, I'm blinking out here, but Kevin Ray Lavello is right there. Kevin Ray Lavello, the Rainbow book. Sweet. And yes, Hannah, I'll be over. Ashley and I will be over for the Bills game tomorrow. But man, this shit. I mean, here. I'm just gonna show you a picture. That's it. Ronnie James Dio, The Almighty Rainbow, 1975, 76. What a time for music. Aerosmith rocks and Kiss Rock and Roll Over and Deep Purple and Rainbow, and the list goes on. Zeppelin, Physical Graffiti, yada, yada. Love it. So in closing, all right, thank you. Thank you very much for joining. In closing, on Halloween, or around the Halloween time, in my haze, I logged on to blabbermouth.net. I've been logging on to blabbermouth.net daily for the past decade plus. It's my hard rock heavy metal news site. And Ashley knows full well about it. Spent a lot of time on there researching and seeing what my heroes are up to. And I've contacted them. I asked no one. That's the goal, to get on that website, to have these videos be posted up when I start to interview some of my heroes, right? And become even more friends with them and get into their mind and ask them all the cool questions, not the, basic shit that you see in some interviews sometimes, right? Get in their head a little bit. Anthrax. I'm going to be talking about Anthrax next week, but Anthrax uploaded a video of them in quarantine performing a song called Gung Ho. Gung Ho is off the Spreading the Disease record, 1984. It's their second studio record. There's the first record with Joey Belladonna, who recently turned 60. Happy birthday, Joey Belladonna. He turned 60 Halloween Eve. Talked about him with Mike. But Gung Ho, when I first listened to that song, which was pretty recently, about 5-6 years ago, what a thrash, man. Thrash fucking metal, dude. Gung Ho. And there's Scott Ian, you know, the goatee, and he's got his obituary, like raglan shirt, red shirt. And you got Joey Belladonna outside. I get the chills. He's outside. He's from Oswego. And he's outside his house, you know. Imagine the neighbors, you know, Joey Belladonna belting out those vocals there for Gung Ho. I'll include that link below too. I was just kind of a jaw dropper because you could tell these guys really miss being on stage. And here they are, just fucking rocking, just fucking going nuts, fucking, you know, just going nuts. So you have to check that out. Next week, so I talked about in the beginning of this episode, this was my most memorable show, Mastodon, Dillinger, Escape Plan, and Red Fang, that I've ever had in the month of November. The second most happened the week or two prior, at the Town Ballroom, same venue. So that was a popular one at the Town Ballroom, November, some metal. It was Anthrax, Testament, and Death Angel. Imagine that, in a 2,500 cap room, 3 metal giants like that, bringing the place down. We had some funny moments during that set. Ryan got singled out with his Yankees hoodie. I'm not going to get into too much else there. Shit. Stories for another time, for next week. Hey, make sure, this is the first time I'm remembering that. Actually, probably the second time I'm remembering. Why don't you just hit that right there? Subscribe, huh? Over here. Subscribe. Check out some of these episodes. Tell your friends about it. Share this shit. I'm going worldwide with this. There's no end in sight. You know, even after I interview James Hetfield someday, the shit is going to be with me. Because why? I ask no one. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Stay hungry. And stay heavy, guys. Have a great weekend. Cheers.